Hi everyone, I'm Holly, and today I wanted to share with you how to create a multi-layered card using Close to My Heart's newest cartridge called Artfully Sent. And we're going to go ahead and dive in and get started. I had received so much feedback from other consultants from Close to My Heart wondering how did I create this card. So I thought I'd throw together a quick video showing everyone how quick and easy it is. And I did not use Explore. I do not have the Explore machine. I have the good old-fashioned expressions. In fact, it's one of the original ones. I don't even have the expressions too. And I love it. It does everything that I need. And I didn't even have to go into Cricut Craft Room. I simply used my paper trimmer and I cut two of the sentiment cards called Merry and Bright, and I layered them together. So let me show you how I did that. In the Cricut handbook for Artfully Sent, you're going to turn to page 49 and you'll notice under sentiment there is the Merry and Bright card. It is a vertical card and it's set in the book to be at 7 inches to create a 5x7 card. But I have a lot of customers that don't necessarily cut 5x7 or use 5x7 cards, so I wanted to show you how to actually make it just a standard 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. So you're going to want to take a look at the settings that Close to My Heart set for this card. Ideally it's 5x7, but you can simply turn your dial down to 5.5 inches as I have here and create the set the multi-cut button. Multi-cut cuts your project more than one time, and that helps to get those little intricate details that you see on here, especially where the ornaments are. It'll just cut them multiple times. The setting for your machine is set to 2, but you can go right into settings here and you can select the multi-cut and you can turn it up to either 3 or 4. I love that feature and I wanted to make sure you were aware of it. So there are 3 pieces that I cut to create this card and to create the layers that you see. The first one is the base. I cut that in Colonial White. And then the next one is right here is the actual sentiment itself. And I cut 2 of those. I cut one in Whisper, which is our lightest gray. And then I cut a second one in Cranberry. And then this is where the fun comes in. I took my paper trimmer, and I am not very good at math. I failed geometry, and I simply just took my paper trimmer. I didn't measure or anything, but you'll notice on your paper trimmer, mine happens to be an older one, but there's this little piece of purple right in between the actual cutting grid and the metal piece where all your measurements are. I took my paper, and I hope you can see this, but I laid the card down where the sentiment would start, and that is going to give me my cutting guide. Right on that metal piece, I'm going to lay that down, and voila, it cut that beautiful border. I'm just going to turn my card around again, lay it so right as the sentiment is starting to touch this metal piece, that's where I'm going to cut it again. And I simply went around the card and did the same thing. I just followed that line. There we go. Let me get my paper trimmer out of the way. And do you see how it created that perfect mat? And it's kind of almost like an overlay. And I simply laid it right on top of the original card, which already had the cutout. You can see the larger version of it here. And I love our Bonding Memories glue. I use that to glue this overlay down and secure it right in place. And it just turned out beautifully. The other feature I wanted to highlight on all of our cards are the envelope templates. And notice here, this is more of a scallop envelope, and it's set to a 5x7, and it's set to 5 inches. Turn your dial down to 4 1/4 inches, and it will cut this perfectly. So here is what the envelope looks like. It looks like this when you cut it out, and then this is the coordinating liner that goes with it. I love when you cut your envelopes, really anything in our cartridges, we create score lines for you. And you're just going to fold your paper on that score line, and then using a bone scoring tool, or the bone folder is what it's called, you're just going to crease, and it's going to create those beautiful creases, real crisp, and it'll keep your cardstock in place too. and it won't tear your paper, I find. I really like that tool. I'm going to open that up so I get a nicer crease. Whoops. Just like that. Love that. And then I just take a little bit of Bonding Memories glue, and you're going to just put a little bit here. Let's get the liner in first. Let me fold that liner too. Crease that real nicely. And then I just take a little bit of the Bonding Memories glue at the top and on the side. And then, love the Bonding Memories glue. When you put it on first, it looks wet and it's blue. But as it starts to dry, it becomes clear, and then it becomes repositionable. Perfect for this type of paper crafting project, because if I accidentally get this where I don't want it, I can simply pull it up and reposition it without tearing my paper. Whoops, and it already moved on me, so let me get that back in place. But then once you're ready for it to set and dry, it will dry and it will stay right in place, right where you want it. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right here, down on the corners here. And then I'm just going to hold that in place like that. And there we go. We have a beautiful coordinating envelope to go with the beautiful card. I hope that was helpful. I hope you learned something new, and I can't wait to share with you what else I find with this wonderful cartridge. Be sure to follow me on YouTube, and that way you'll be updated every time I create a new video. Happy crafting! We'll talk to you soon.